Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to be installing the Yikatoo 5-inch exhaust for the 07.5 to 2012 Ram with the 6.7 liter diesel. The stock SKU on this is going to be LYAM426 and the stock number is 143. So let me get my old exhaust off and then we will show you how to install the brand new Yikatoo exhaust. So there is a couple tools you'll need to install the 5-inch Yikatoo exhaust system on your truck. What they are is a 7/16 wrench for the V-bands. Now ratcheting makes it easier, although a standard will work. A 9/16 to use on the provided band clamps. An 18mm to remove your bolts on the transmission cross member, a 21mm socket to accompany the 18mm to remove the transmission mount bolts, a 5/8 socket which you're going to use in conjunction with the 9/16 to put in the provided Yikatoo clamps, and a 17mm that you're going to use for all the transmission mount bolts themselves. So also, you'll need a 3/8 ratchet. The longer the better. Just makes the job a little bit easier. Over here I have some honorable mentions that most everybody has. So you're going to want a flathead screwdriver. It's going to help you remove the intake, which in turn will make your job easier working with the V-bands. A little pry bar. You don't want to go too big on this. Normally bigger is better. Just helps you maneuver the transmission cross member around. A hammer. This is just a typical claw hammer. I do like to use mechanics hammers normally, but this is something anybody will have around their house. And an impact gun will make this entire job go significantly quicker because you aren't going to have to screw around using hand tools. This entire kit, although, can be installed using the hand tools shown right here. So now that we've seen what tools we're going to use, let's get to installing that kit. Have the old exhaust removed from the truck. Now we're going to start by getting your 5-inch downpipe installed. So depending on who you talk to, some folks say you may have to do a little bit of massaging to the pipe to get it up and in, but we will see and make those modifications as we go. So this is going to be something that it might be easier to have a friend help you hold the downpipe from the bottom while you put the clamp on top, or vice versa. Let's get this downpipe finagled up and in, and we'll move on to the rest of the exhaust. If you haven't already, now would be a good time to remove your transmission cross member. That is going to be an 18mm and a 21mm socket wrench, whichever you have. And then you're going to have to remove your 3 transmission mount bolts that are going to be a 17, and that way you can drop your cross member right out of the way. It just makes it easier to get your downpipe up and in without your cross member fighting you. So for viewing purposes, I don't have it on right now, but you're going to start your V-band on your 5-inch downpipe. You're going to mate it to the back of the turbo, and then you're going to tighten your V-band down, but you're going to leave it somewhat loose so that way you can manipulate the rest of the exhaust as you go. So let me get that down, or let me get that V-band on the downpipe, and I actually noticed the V-band on the back of my turbo is a little loose too. We'll get that tightened up, and we will be back. So now that you have the downpipe pushed up and into its position, you're going to want to finagle both clamps on to the turbo. Then you're going to want to start on your next pipe. Now you want to loosely fit these before you actually clamp them together. So your next pipe is going to be the long pipe that comes in the kit. And you're going to want to go through and put your exhaust hangers on. I had to cut the factory ones, so I got to buy a couple more. But I have enough to at least get the exhaust on for now. So you're going to get your hangers on. Next, you're going to want to hang your tailpipe. Now this is important because you're going to have to figure out the distance between these two pipes to determine which size pipe you need to use. This pipe does come with enough pieces to run due to a mega cab or a quad cab long bed. This current configuration is the short bed single cab. So let me select the right pipe and we'll get that in here. So now that you have your correct piece selected to go to your tailpipe, you're going to install the hanger above your tailpipe or over the axle pipe. I'm going to run your over the axle pipe and then we'll go to the back and we will take a look at the tailpipe. This all just slides together and then you're going to use these clamps, remember, loosely. And once we get the tailpipe fitted, we'll be back to tighten all these down. So now that we have the over the axle pipe fitted, what we can do is we can slide our tailpipe into its hanger, slide it into the over the axle pipe. Then we're going to put clamps on everything now, get everything fully fit, set your tailpipe to hang exactly where you'd like it, and we'll be back. So now that it's time to tighten these clamps, you're going to need two tools. You're going to need a 9/16 wrench to go onto the top. And then on the bottom, you're going to need to use a 5/8 socket. I like to use an impact on these because it makes it easier to draw them up and in. But you can do this with a regular old ratchet. So all you're going to do is hold the top with your wrench and come to the bottom and run it up and in. So these are already all tight, so I don't have to really run them in, but that's how you're going to install your clamps on the exhaust. So you're just going to run them all the way down. Sorry, the lighting's a little rough. So install your clamps all the way back, and now we will adjust the tailpipe angle. So now it's time to adjust your tailpipe angle. Doing this would be a little bit easier if you had a buddy to help you. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your tailpipe adjusted how you'd like it to protrude from the vehicle. Now these are cut for a tip, so it's going to protrude a little bit farther than you'd like it to. You're going to have to cut that down and put a tip on if you would like. So you get it adjusted where you want and have your buddy adjust the clamp between the over the axle pipe and the tailpipe. So that's going to be how you adjust your tailpipe angle. So before you can enjoy your brand new Yikatoo 5-inch stainless steel exhaust, there's one last step you're going to need to do. You're going to need to take your 18mm wrench and your 21mm socket, and you're going to need to lift the cross member back into place, slide the bolts through, and reattach your cross member. Then you're going to come through and put your 3 17mm bolts in, or nuts, back on your transmission cross member. So let's get that all squared away, and we'll be back to get you a exhaust note and a rev. All right, so here's going to be the first start with the Yikatoo 5-inch exhaust system. So that there is how you install the 5-inch stainless steel Yikatoo exhaust system. Total install time for this, if you really got to it, you could do it in about 2 hours with power tools. If you used, standard hand tools, I would probably plan out the better portion of a day, but this is definitely something that's attainable to do by somebody in their home garage. So, thank you for watching.